Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Mike. Today we're diving into a very important and practical topic, resolving work conflict.
That's right, Mike. Conflict in the workplace is something almost everyone experiences at some point, but knowing how to handle it effectively can make a big difference in your professional life.
Absolutely, Emma. We'll be discussing various types of workplace conflicts, their causes, and most importantly, strategies to resolve them. We'll also share some real-life examples and tips on how to maintain a harmonious work environment.
And before we dive in, a quick reminder, if you find the podcast speed too fast, we encourage you to adjust the playback speed to 0.75x. On mobile, click the gear or settings icon at the top of the video screen. On desktop, you'll find the settings icon at the bottom right corner of the video.
And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. Your engagement really helps us grow and continue providing quality episodes.
All right, let's get started. Segment 1. Understanding work conflict. So, what exactly is work conflict? Simply put, it's a situation where two or more employees have a disagreement or a difference of opinion that leads to a disruption in the work environment.
Yes, conflicts can arise for various reasons. Differences in personality, miscommunication, competition for resources, or differing values and goals.
And it's important to note that not all conflict is bad. In fact, some conflict can lead to better ideas and innovations if managed properly.
Exactly. Constructive conflict can encourage open discussion and lead to improvements. However, unresolved or poorly managed conflict can lead to a toxic work environment.
Let's look at some common types of workplace conflicts.
One of the most common types is interpersonal conflict. This occurs between two or more employees and can stem from personality clashes, misunderstandings, or different communication styles.
Another type is task conflict, which arises when there are disagreements about how to complete a task or project. This can be due to different methods, strategies, or approaches.
There's also role conflict, which occurs when an employee's job responsibilities are unclear or overlap with those of another employee. This can create confusion and tension.
Finally, we have process conflict, which involves disagreements about the processes and procedures used to accomplish work tasks.
Understanding these types can help you identify the root cause of a conflict and address it more effectively.
Segment 2. Causes of work conflict. Now that we've identified the types of work conflict, let's discuss the causes. Understanding the root cause is essential for resolving any conflict.
One major cause is poor communication. Misunderstandings, lack of information, or unclear messages can easily lead to conflict.
Absolutely, Mike. Another cause is differences in values and beliefs. Employees come from diverse backgrounds and have different perspectives, which can sometimes clash.
Competition for resources is another common cause. When resources such as time, money, or equipment are limited, it can create tension among employees.
And then there's personality clashes. Not everyone gets along all the time, and sometimes personalities just don't mesh well together.
Organizational changes can also lead to conflict. Changes in management, procedures, or company policies can create uncertainty and stress among employees.
Lastly, unclear job roles and responsibilities can cause confusion and conflict. When employees are unsure of their duties, it can lead to overlaps and disputes. Segment 3. Strategies for resolving work conflict.
So, how do we resolve these conflicts? The first step is to address the issue early. Don't let small problems fester and turn into bigger issues.
Right, Mike. It's also important to approach the conflict with a positive attitude. See it as an opportunity to improve communication and understanding.
Active listening is crucial. Make sure to listen to the other person's perspective without interrupting or judging. This helps in understanding their point of view.
Yes, and be sure to communicate clearly and respectfully. Use I statements to express how you feel without blaming the other person. For example, say, I feel frustrated when, instead of you always.
Finding common ground is another effective strategy. Look for areas of agreement and build on them to find a mutually acceptable solution.
And sometimes it's helpful to involve a neutral third party, like a manager or HR representative, to mediate the discussion and help find a resolution.
Let's discuss these strategies in more detail with some examples.
Segment 4. Real life examples. Imagine a scenario where two team members, Sarah and John, have a disagreement about the best approach to complete a project. Sarah prefers a traditional method, while John wants to try a new technology.
In this case, the first step is for Sarah and John to have a calm discussion to understand each other's viewpoints. They should listen actively and avoid interrupting.
They can then use I statements to express their concerns. For example, Sarah might say, I feel uneasy about using new technology because I'm not familiar with it.
John could respond, I understand your concern, but I believe the new technology can improve our efficiency. Maybe we can try it on a smaller scale first.
By finding common ground, trying the new technology on a smaller scale, they can come to a compromise that addresses both of their concerns.
Another example could be a conflict between two employees, Lisa and Mark, over shared resources. Both need access to the same equipment, but there's not enough to go around.
In this situation, they should discuss their schedules and try to find a way to share the equipment fairly. Perhaps they can create a schedule or take turns using the equipment.
If they can't reach an agreement on their own, they might involve their manager to help mediate and find a solution that works for both parties.
Segment 5. Maintaining a positive work environment. Now, let's talk about maintaining a positive work environment to prevent conflicts from arising in the first place.
One of the best ways to do this is by fostering open communication. Encourage employees to speak up about their concerns and ideas.
Regular team meetings and check-ins can help ensure that everyone is on the same page and address any issues before they escalate.
It's also important to promote teamwork and collaboration. When employees work together and understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, it reduces the chances of conflict.
And don't forget to recognize and appreciate your employees. Acknowledging their hard work and contributions can boost morale and reduce tension.
Providing clear job roles and responsibilities can also help prevent conflicts. When employees know what is expected of them, it reduces confusion and overlap.
Lastly, offering training and development opportunities can help employees build the skills they need to handle conflicts effectively. Segment 6. Handling difficult conversations.
Sometimes, despite your best efforts, you might need to have a difficult conversation to address a conflict. Here are some tips on how to handle these situations.
First, prepare for the conversation. Think about what you want to say and how you want to say it. Be clear about the issue and your desired outcome.
Choose the right time and place. Make sure you have enough time to discuss the issue without interruptions, and choose a private setting.
During the conversation, stay calm and composed. Use a respectful tone and avoid getting defensive or emotional.
Focus on the issue, not the person. Discuss specific behaviors or actions rather than making it personal.
Use active listening to understand the other person's perspective. Acknowledge their feelings and show empathy.
Work together to find a solution. Be open to compromise and collaborate on a plan to resolve the conflict.
Segment 7. When to seek help. Sometimes, conflicts can become too challenging to resolve on your own. In these cases, it's important to know when to seek help.
If the conflict is affecting your work performance or mental health, it's time to involve a manager or HR representative.
Additionally, if the conflict involves harassment, discrimination, or any form of abuse, it should be reported to HR immediately.
Seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It shows that you are committed to finding a resolution and maintaining a positive work environment.
Managers and HR professionals are trained to handle conflicts and can provide valuable support and guidance. Segment 8. Conflict Resolution Techniques.
Let's discuss some specific conflict resolution techniques that can be effective in the workplace.
One technique is the win-win approach. This involves finding a solution that satisfies the needs of both parties.
The compromise approach is another technique, where each party gives up something to reach a mutually acceptable solution.
The collaborative approach focuses on working together to find a creative solution that benefits everyone involved.
The accommodating approach involves one party giving in to the other's demands. This can be useful when the issue is not of great importance to the accommodating party.
Finally, the avoiding approach involves delaying or avoiding the conflict altogether. This can be useful when the issue is minor or when emotions are running high.
Each of these techniques has its own strengths and weaknesses, and the best approach will depend on the specific situation.
Segment 9. Real-life case study. Let's look at a real-life case study to see how these conflict resolution techniques can be applied.
Imagine a scenario where a project manager, Alice, and a team member, Bob, have a disagreement about the project timeline. Alice wants to extend the deadline to ensure high quality, while Bob believes the original deadline is feasible.
They decide to use the collaborative approach to find a solution. They sit down together and discuss their concerns and priorities.
Alice explains that she's worried about the quality of the project if they rush it. Bob explains that he's confident they can meet the original deadline with proper planning.
After discussing their viewpoints, they agree on a compromise. They decide to keep the original deadline, but allocate additional resources to ensure high quality.
This way, both Alice's and Bob's concerns are addressed, and the project can move forward smoothly.
Segment 10. Summary and key takeaways. We've covered a lot of ground today on resolving work conflict. Let's summarize the key takeaways.
First, it's important to understand the types and causes of work conflict. This helps in identifying the root cause and addressing it effectively.
Address conflicts early and approach them with a positive attitude. Use active listening and clear communication to understand the other person's perspective.
Find common ground and be open to compromise. If needed, involve a neutral third party to help mediate the discussion.
Maintain a positive work environment by fostering open communication, promoting teamwork, and providing clear job roles.
Handle difficult conversations with preparation, calmness, and respect. Focus on the issue, not the person, and work together to find a solution.
Know when to seek help from a manager or HR representative, especially if the conflict is affecting your work performance or involves harassment or discrimination.
Use conflict resolution techniques like the win-win approach, compromise, collaboration, accommodation, and avoidance as appropriate to the situation.
And remember, Resolving work conflict effectively can lead to better communication, stronger relationships, and a more positive work environment.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found this episode helpful and informative.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your feedback and support mean a lot to us.
And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to leave a comment or reach out to us.
Until next time, take care and keep learning.